Hello, professors and fellow researchers. Today I'd like to introduce you to the topic of my paper that I sent to the IYRC summer conference, which is the impacts of Hanoi's economic inequalities on air qualities from 2017 to 2026. I have divided this presentation exactly like my paper, which includes the introduction, the methodology, the results, and the conclusions. Firstly, I'd like to introduce you more about myself. My name is Luong Hieu. I'm currently enrolling in the Hanoi Amsterdam High School for the Gifted in my home city of Hanoi, Vietnam. Here are my contacts. If you have any inquiries or if you'd like to have a chat with me. On a more personal note, why did I do this study? Growing up in Hanoi, I have been accustomed to the dangerously poor air quality, and having moved throughout the city in my adolescent years, I've also witnessed the contrasting living conditions within districts of the cities. For some more context, after the my policies of 1986, Hanoi's rapid urbanization, which is only accelerated after the turn of the millennium and accompanied by the local authorities' negligence, resulted in decades of worsening air pollution, which might be differing as Hanoi's expansion saw different districts develop at different rates. All of this raised questions within me, which is also the focal point of my research, which is, does the air quality in different areas vary based on their economic conditions? To answer these questions, I have planned the methods for this research. The variables I chose comes from 11 districts within the cities. There are two independent economic variables, which are regional GDP per capita and state budget revenue, and three air quality variables, which are nitrogen dioxide levels, sulfur dioxide levels, and green space coverage percentage. More on the districts that I chose. One day Hanoi could be divided into three areas: the urban core, the urban fringes, and the suburbs. For the data table, I have divided the districts into the three areas. So the top four districts are the urban core districts, the three in the middle are from the urban fringes, and the four at the bottom are the suburban districts. After identifying the variables, I chose two methods, which are descriptive statistics, which utilized in the form of means and standard deviations, applied for all 5 datasets, specifically for GDP and state budget revenue, in order to really verify the disparities between these the districts. Afterwards, I use correlation analytics for 8 groups of datasets, allowing links between different datasets, whether positive, negative, or none at all, to be verified. Here are the results of the descriptive statistics. You can see there's a clear gap between the top and the bottom districts in the GDP and state budget revenue variables, and especially in the state budget revenue variable, as the standard deviation is more than 50% the average, which I consider an abnormally high figure. Here are the results of the correlation analytics in the form of the Pearson correlation coefficient. As you can see, the GDP variables have negative correlation with the air pollution variables, the nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide variables, while having a slight positive correlation with the green space coverage percentage, which is very interestingly the direct opposite of the state budget revenue which, as you can see here, has a positive correlation with the air quality, air pollution variables, and a negative correlation with the green space coverage percentage. Understandably, the green space coverage percentage has a negative correlation with the air quality variables. In this bubble chart here, the y-axis is the nitrogen dioxide concentration level, and the x-axis is the GDP per capita. From this bubble chart, you can roughly see the negative correlation between these two, our GDP and nitrogen dioxide level. The green space coverage percentage, it determines the size of the bubble. So for example, this district here is Luong. It has the smallest bubble of all districts in the studies, and you can see that it has pretty high nitrogen dioxide level. Meanwhile, this district, Nam Tu Liam, has the biggest bubble, meaning it has the most green space coverage, and it has a pretty considerably lower concentration of nitrogen dioxide compared to top districts. So what does this mean? From these results, I have drawn up some conclusions about the relationship between economics and air quality variables. The state budget revenues relationship with air pollution metrics and green space coverage percentage shows that district with greater economic output could be more polluted due to greater volume of traffic, as inferred in this traffic accident map of Hanoi, where you can see that traffic accidents are more clustered in the urban core districts, and denser concentration of buildings, which conversely means that there will be less green space. Meanwhile, the all GDP's variables relationship with air quality variables could be due to a combination of a decade-long trend of wealthy households moving to newer, greener communities in the suburbs, which is the biggest example of this is these Vinhome projects. Vinhome is the largest real estate company in Vietnam. This issue has been covered by an article by Vietnam Plus in 2024. And to verify the green space coverage percentage clear negative correlations with the air pollution variables, we look to different nearby cities, and in this case Beijing in China. Well, a study in Beijing has showed that green space has a profound impact on air pollution levels. Of course, with these results and these conclusions, it is impossible to overlook the limitations. Most regrettably, the study uses secondary data from varying years between 2017 and 2026, so the results might not be optimal. Moreover, the variables may not be sufficient, as many other metrics could be implemented if there were credible data available, which would likely increase the validity of the results. For example, PM2.4, 2.5, which is one of the most common determinants of air pollution. However, with what we can conclude, I propose 3 suggestions for local governments to follow. First of all, the replanning of some districts, especially the urban core, to include more green spaces, the enforcement of restrictions on auto vehicles, and an increase on environmental taxes, and the renovation of public transportations, and environmental facilities in Hanoi, which are gravely insufficient. And this concludes our presentation. Thank you for your attention, and please feel free to ask for any questions you may have.